We take a ride up a road made back in 1870. Back in the hills of Cromwell, central Otago, New Zealand, is an old dray road built in 1870 up into the Carrick Range. During the time, the area was gripped by gold fever. It was this precious yellow stuff that drove the opening of this road. And today you can travel it by shanks' pony, mountain bike, adventure motorbike, or horse. At times it is easy going, but can be very steep in places, which the photos don't really show. And at times it's plain run down and ornery. Welcome, this is Dudley Moore from remote places, New Zealand. Imagine it back in the day, crowded with miners, riding, walking, some with steel-rimmed wheelbarrows, amongst long teams of bullocks pulling wagons loaded with supplies or ore. It is so steep that the teamsters on the way down had to drag large rocks behind the wagons to prevent their brakes from overheating and burning the wagon. I nearly had a disaster myself, rather different to theirs. Here in one very rough section, my iPhone and mini tripod fell out of my pocket. I only discovered the loss a couple of k's up the hill when I stopped to take some photos. It's my main YouTube camera, so I felt gutted. I had just been using my helmet-mounted Otago action camera while navigating my way up the road. How was I to find a small grey iPhone 15 among all these grey rocks? And if I did, would it still work? Setting off downhill, I prayed that it would be found in one piece. Going slow, peering everywhere, nothing. Back through the gate, nothing. Rounding another corner, I spot a solo walker coming up the hill, waving something. When we met, I was delighted to see that she was waving my phone and tripod, and oh, the relief to discover it didn't even have a mark on it. Disaster averted. Together we travelled up the road for a while, talking about the area. The walker was a busy mother out clearing her head after a tough week with growing kids. She commented that the beauty and solitude, along with the hard exercise up here, helps me to get life back into perspective. She was heading up to the young Australian water wheel, way past Carricktown. Arriving at Carricktown, I was greeted with a shout coming from a nearby hilltop. "Do you want a hot sausage?" It was a couple of local southern lads who had spent the night up here in their swags. Snow had fallen overnight further up the hills, so it would have been a cold one. However, they were well set up with a quad bike, complete with a gas barbecue, hence their generous offer to share some of their breakfast was much appreciated. What are you guys doing up here?
I'm just out for the night. Gone for a bit of a quad bike up a bit higher, but just stayed the night. Otherwise we're going to get snowed on.
So you must be the envy of a lot of town boys, because their mums wouldn't let them come over here and do that.
Yeah, a wee bit. My mum's a wee bit scared to find the weather's not good. But it's good fun, I guess.
Oh, well, it's good seeing responsible young fellas out enjoying the countryside. You're together. And I see you got a stone hotel just over the back there.
Yeah, there's a few other houses over as well that we checked out last night.
So, but nothing with roofs better than yours.
No, yeah. Pretty cool.
Okay, enjoy the day.
Yeah, thank you.
I was impressed to see that when they had packed up, there was no evidence of them having been there. Any rubbish went back out with them. Oh, so different to other travellers who just throw their bottles, cans and other rubbish wherever. So after a chat, it was off to explore the local real estate. But no bargains found up here. It's all hardcore DIY projects. as 150 years of harsh weather has reduced the houses to stone ruins. But there is plenty to see and evidence of some talented stonemasons' work. Look how straight this wall is. I presume any agent selling these would be pushing location, location, location. Where else can you get a house with a view like this? Even on a day like this. The two towns, Courtsville at the bottom and Carricktown up the hill, had busy mining populations. There were several smaller settlements further back in the hills, so the population of the area was much bigger than today. But I didn't experience crowds, only the 3 people already mentioned. Not that we were alone, with plenty of friendly cattle over the fence keeping a watchful eye on us, and lots of sheep and lambs visible on the surrounding hills. Evidence of mining activity is all around, but well camouflaged by the recovered flora. Mines, machinery and water races are all here for you to see and explore. This road carries on up the hill and out of sight into the clouds. 5.5 km further on is the young Australian water wheel. Photo here is courtesy of the Southern lads. This large 8-metre wheel was built to power a stamper battery and was driven by water sourced 35 kilometres away in the Old Man Range. A further 4 km up, the road joins the Nevis Road, up on the Daffers Saddle. This is New Zealand's highest public road at 1,275 metres, providing access into the Nevis Valley or back down to Cromwell. But we're not going further today, with heavy clouds hiding last night's snowfall. So I turn and ride downhill. This time the battery of the bike is not needed, but the front suspension sure gets a hard workout on this road. Going past Carricktown, we drop into Smith's Gully. Explore the old mine tailings and see a couple of horizontal mine shafts. These are on private land which we get permission to visit. It's unreal to see the result of hydraulic mining that happened 150 years ago, and the landscape which is dramatically changed just by harnessing the power of water. Further north towards Cromwell is the Bannockburn Sluicings Historic Reserve, which I covered in an early video. I'll put a link to that at the end of this one, in case you're interested. It must have been a crazy time for those with gold fever in that 1850 to 1900 period, with gold discovered first in Coromandel, then Otago, and over the Alps on the west coast. Add to the mix the Californian and Australian rushes earlier. People desperate for that one big find kept rushing onto the new rushes. In 1861, 64,000 Australian miners arrived in Otago. We trust you enjoyed viewing this Remote Places New Zealand video as much as we did producing it. Our subscribers and your comments greatly assist us with the development of our channel. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and ring the bell for updates. Thank you, Dudley Moore at Remote Places NZ.